paying attention. Make sure you guys got your cameras on because you guys still getting your credits for that. I wanted to go ahead and call out Eric, man. You always got your camera on. I really appreciate you, dude. Every time I turn on, I see you. So thank you, bro. And I got some others too. It's just that I always see his name, Caleb. You always got your camera on. No matter what, I see you, man. So I do appreciate that. And you guys face to face, obviously, you guys always pay attention to. Others do too, but I just gotta say the ones that come to my mind first and foremost. I love this great book. They always get those points. All right. So Black Feminism, again, coming from this textbook right here. It's not a textbook, it's a book. It's called Venus in the Dark. You guys can see it again. It's called Venus in the Dark, Blackness and Beauty in Popular Culture. It was a textbook I used for a college class, and a lot of stuff I'm coming from comes from here. And the idea, again, we're looking at how women are typically always seen in a Eurocentric perspective and how Black Panther, the movie, really changed that whole identity, okay? All right, so the first thing we gotta do is make sure you guys go ahead and download this PDF. For my face-to-face, I'm gonna print these off for you guys, okay? Because you know I gotta give you a theory, right? So here's another theory I'm about to teach you guys. It's called feminist theory, okay? Feminist theory. So for my online people, you guys can go ahead and get this printed off. I'm gonna give you guys a link to it in a second. 2, 4, 5 of you guys. I'll post a link in 1 second for you guys and gals online. So, I mean, when these come off the printer, could you get one to everybody and take one for yourself too, please? Okay. For my virtual people, let me get it for you guys right now. I'm gonna give you guys a link just to make things a little bit easier. Huh? Yeah, the goal is for us to have a debate tomorrow. No, I want this one to be a live one, and then we go right into the movie. So the question was, the goal is for us to have a debate tomorrow. This is not going to be a recorded one. We'll do the debate tomorrow morning and go right into the movie. For my virtual students, here is the document for you guys. There it is right there in the chat for you. So you guys can go ahead and open that up, download. If you guys want, for virtual students, if you guys want to just write the answers out, that's fine. If you guys want to print out the document and write it, that's fine. Totally up to you. Thank you, sir, for passing that out. All right. The way these questions are is that the numbers 1 through, I think it's 4. Oh, I'll give you more than that. Numbers 1 through 5. Ooh. 1 through 4. Well, no. Numbers 1 through 10. The answers should come as you're going. Is that right? Got me on that? But you want to just kind of answer as much as you can, and I am going to go back and review these and make sure you guys all got the right one. So if you missed something, you good. Is that right? Got me on that? I'm gonna give you guys like maybe 5 minutes after the video is over with to make sure you guys can get your answers in. Then we'll go back to reviewing for you, okay? So I'm gonna call out everybody because there's more questions here than there's people, and you just tell me your answer. If you're wrong, I'll fix it for you, okay? Because you guys see 13 really has 3 answers there, okay? So really what y'all need to do is take a second and read over this, okay? Read over this right now to make sure you guys are good.
There's no video attached to this with this answering?
Huh?
There's no video attached to this answer.
No, there is video. We're about to watch the video in a second.
Okay.
This is Theories of Gender crash course. All right, so for online people, it is now available for you guys in your assignments. If you guys need to go there to type it up. All right. Let's get started. So obviously, we're gonna stop a little bit before we go to lunch, but let's get started. So let's watch this and we'll come back and review the questions. All right, guys, so we're just reviewing the crash course as far as the answers. Right now we got number 1 is being B, number 2 being A, number 3 being C, number 4 being A. What's number 5?
B.
B.
Number 5 is B. Number 6 is what?
C.
6 is C. All right, should we turn to the back? Number 7 is what?
A.
C is A. 8 is what?
A.
8 is also A. Number 9 is what?
Patriarchy.
Patriarchy, that's correct. Oh, y'all going too fast. All right, number 10. Number 10 is what?
B.
You said B or C?
I got B. Is that
Yeah,
wrong?
number 10 is B. That's correct. Number 10 is B.
Oh, okay.
Good job. Number 11 is what? None of y'all got that?
Disadvantages and stack onto one another.
Yeah, so number 11 is disadvantages and stack. Number 11 is disadvantages and stack. All right, number 12. Feminism, that's correct. Number 13, you got 3. Yes, liberal, socialist, and radical. Number 13 is liberal, socialist, and radical. And then the last one we got is number 14, which is what? What letter?
Is it C?
It is actually A. Number 14 is actually A, everybody. Number 14 is A. All right, heads up, you guys got to answer the key. These questions will come back again on your test, okay? Just so you guys know, come back on your test. Number 8 was A. A is an apple.
What was
And
number
recording
12?
this for you guys. I'm recording for you guys to go back to see it too, okay? What now?
What was number 12?
12 was feminism. Okay. All right, so this whole lesson is being recorded for you guys to go back to review it, okay? So everything we're doing today. All right, let's continue with feminism. All right. So now, what is Black feminism? So again, we watched the goal was for you guys to finish watching or rewatch the movie Black Panther. I gave you guys an assignment where you guys had to do character analysis. We're doing this part of the assignment today. So Black feminism. All right, let me get. I need some online people to read for me. I had 4 different bullet points, so 4 different people. Let me get the markers to start. So the first bullet point.
Okay. A school of thought that sexism, class oppression, gender identity, and racism are all connected.
All right, the markers. Call anybody you want that's virtual.
I'll go with given.
Thank you.
The way that all of those concepts relate is called intersectionality. Do I keep going?
Yeah, you keep going.
Okay, this term was created by Kimberly Crenshaw in 1989. Basically means that different parts of your identity do not exist separately from each other. They are connected. For example, a Black woman experiences oppression differently than a white woman. She lives her life as a Black person might face those prejudices, and as a woman, whereas a white woman still lives in this world as a white person, receives those privileges. Another example, Black person in a wheelchair faces more discrimination and or hardships than a Black person would who is not in a wheelchair.
Hey, call somebody else that's virtual.
Arisha?
Wait, which bullet point was she?
You going to the third bullet point, where it says Black feminists.
Black feminists understand that Black women are discriminated against in ways that do not just fit under sexism and racism. Black feminism, womanism, is about advocating for the agency and power of Black women.
All right. And hopefully that should make a little bit more sense because we just talked about the theories of genders. Everybody got me on that? Again, this is coming up. This may not even be on your next unit 4 test. It might be just a quiz coming up. So just make sure you guys are paying attention, take notes where it's needed. I love to give one of those examples and say this is an example of what, and y'all give y'all 3 different reasons, okay? Quick, easy quiz there. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm gonna get a quiz on this tomorrow. We're gonna throw that out there because I'm thinking about it right now. All right. So now we got a quick little video. We got 2 questions we're gonna answer here. So take note, and be ready to answer. Yes or no? Have you ever heard of Sarah Bartman? Okay, just give me that question and then we shall see. Have you ever heard of Sarah Bartman? Yes or no? Give me your answers, yes or no. About 9% of y'all, that's awesome, thank you. Got 1 yes. 2 yeses, well, no. Should probably did this as a poll. Okay, I got more no's than I got yeses. Okay, so now you're about to learn about who is Sarah Barton, okay? And again, make sure I go back to say this. The reason we're looking at this because one aspect that you guys could look at is Black Panther that you remember the whole, again, I'm assuming that most people have watched this movie at least once in their life, all right? It made too much money for me not to assume that. If you look at the Black Panthers, his security guard was all women. Is everybody got me on that? That's powerful if you look at how women are normally treated based on what we just talked about, which is the theories. Is everybody got me on that? And how women are treated for our gender. Now you look at those women being all his security guards and all being very powerful. You know, I got me on that? That's why I want to make sure I kind of break down this idea of feminism. Cool? And again, like we kind of did a poll earlier in class, we very rarely get a formal teaching or lesson in this. Is everybody got me on that? So make sure I take this time out. And again, that's what ethnic studies is about. It's not always about black and white. I'm using Black women only because of the movie Black Panther. This is an easy connection. All right, so now y'all about to listen and learn more about Sarah Barton. Pay attention, because again, y'all getting a quiz on this tomorrow.
The blood says, find me on the perpetrator's hands. The blood says, wash me from the victim's body. The blood says, do not let the children see the bath. Their tongues are burning in our mouths. When we talk about our history, we put the fire out.
Often we talk about Sarah Bartman as having been a victim of colonial spectacle, being subjected to being shown and being exhibited in a form of a zoo. But yes, she was a young woman who was taken from Southern Africa to France to be exhibited. And of course, there was a lot of fascination around her physique. The most problematic thing is the treatment of Sarah Bartman while she was there. So being treated as an animal, being kept in a cage. Her body was then dissected and kept at the Musée de l'Homme. It's not just Sarah Bartman's story. Her story is actually at the core of what happened and the way in which racism was then legitimized.
This is an exhibition that's taking place at the Ritchie Gallery on the Hidding campus at the University of Cape Town. It's playing host to an exhibition that has been conceptualized by the Works of Art Committee. It's called Sarah Psyche Bartman, A Call to Respond. So while it is taking into account and indeed is exhibiting a sculpture by the artist Willie Bester called Sarah Bartman, it is an exhibition that also has other elements in it. We have developed large-scale photographs of the work when that particular sculpture was robed in various iterations, and we also have other works on display. In a small way, this exhibition opens up, hopefully, a conversation about heritage and understanding that it's not just one thing. And again, that it's not just about an object, but it's about what lies in between those objects and what lies between the object and our contemporary lives.
We do welcome people to come and write on the walls. We do welcome people to come and read, to come and reflect in this space as well.
All right, so we're doing all high and hug. So just give me something in the video that made you think, and then give me one hustle that made you kind of like left you with questions. All right, Sarah Barton. So for the online people, you guys can see the picture right here. This was Sarah Barton. She was a African lady who had, for lack of a better phrase, a big butt. Okay, and they were fascinated by her size. Just the face-to-face see it. They were fascinated by her size and her figure. And what they did, remember this is coming out of the transatlantic slave trade, right? They put her image up, they put her up in a museum in London. And they just basically looked at her almost as she was an animal. Does everybody got me on that? This is where you start getting the idea of where you have, feminism being questioned because she was seen as ugly. Does everybody got me on that? However, if you go look at most African traditions, that was seen as a woman you want to marry because she's gonna have kids, she'll be take care of you, she was fruitful, she was healthy. Does everybody got me on that? And so you had a cultural difference between what was seen in Africa compared to what was seen by the Europeans. You guys go ahead and make your marks on the sheets. I mean, in the Nearpod. Yeah, if you want to list your answers, just try to go ahead and go back in. So here's another quote and kind of gets to that same idea. And I quote, in the 17th century, with the development of the African slave trade, English traders customarily viewed their African female captives as, quote, hot, conditioned ladies with lavish appetites, thus protecting their own sexual exploits onto the black female desire. So again, what they're saying here is that because of the way their body looks, they must want sex. Is everybody got me on that? Therefore, it's okay for me to then go ahead and rape these women. Is everybody follow? And again, this continues even when we get to 21st century as far as what is seen as appeasing and sexy. Is everybody follow so far? Is y'all with me? Give me some yes, no's. Okay. By the time of the late 19th century, such negative attitudes reflect the fears of encounters with black bodies during imperialist expansion on the African continent, as well as fears of black emancipation in the Americas. So the skin here was seen as a weapon. Does everybody follow me on that? Which again goes into why Black Panther was such a big deal in so many other ways. Slave laws in the American colonies created gender and racial entrapments for enslaved black women. Does anybody know what that means? Let me read again. Slave laws in the American colonies created gender and racial entrapments for enslaved black women. Quote, such legislation laid women open to the most vicious exploitation. For a master could save the cost of buying new slaves by impregnating his own slave, or for the matter of having anyone impregnate her. Y'all with me so far? Does everybody see the connection so far about the slavery though? Okay. I need you guys to go ahead and throw these in. We need to move on. And I'm reading again from the text. The preconceived difference between African and European men would suggest that the latter group would obviously not find Bartman an appealing figure and can thus attend the Venus show in a spirit of lighthearted mockery and bald curiosity for pornographic deviance. In other words, it was okay to show her off because they're not gonna like her anyway. You guys follow me on that? She's not attractive. Therefore, it's okay to show her as not as a person or as a woman, but as an animal. You guys with me so far? Online people, you guys with me? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully y'all see why I did that gender roles first. Okay, I'm really getting y'all set up for what we're about to do now. All right, I gotta move on. So if you got, remember, this participation is going in the grade book. Y'all need to make sure y'all throw these in. I'm not looking for no dissertation answers, but just a quick sentence or two. You got 1 more minute. All right. Perhaps the strongest evidence of this legacy resides in the mounting in various world affairs, with one of the first mounted in London at the Crystal Palace in 1851, celebrating the British Empire and exhibiting displays of non-Western people from British colonies. So what they did in London is that, okay, the British Empire was the biggest empire in the world that we know of. Does everybody got me on that? It even made the Roman Empire look small, because it literally was saying that the sun never set on the British Empire. So what they did is they brought people from all parts of the empire and displayed them. Does everybody got me on that? So think about that. Not only just women, but just people in general. That's crazy. If you just think about, okay, here's all the people we are now controlling, for lack of a better phrase. Y'all got me on that? And again, this is a different time frame, but still powerful all the same. All right, let's move on. All right, now the quick one. In your own words, 2 to 4 sentences, explain Black feminism. I read a lot to you guys. Y'all saw a lot. And you know what? Give me a sentence or two. Don't even make it 2 or 4. Like 1 or 2 sentences. Define or describe Black feminism. I gave y'all a definition of feminism. Now let's put Black feminism. Or if you are Latin, give me Latin feminism. If you are Asian American, give me Asian feminism. Y'all follow me on that? So identify this based on your nationality, okay? So make this be based off of your nationality. You guys can like other people. Just in case some people are not able to get into the Nearpod, I'm about to put the link into the chat. You guys can like other people's too. I'm gonna take names off so y'all can feel more comfortable. So go ahead and like other people's too. No wrong answer. This is our perception, again, based on kind of what I've been teaching you guys so far. We're almost done with this section. Again, make it based off of your particular ethnic background. So if you're Hispanic, give me Hispanic feminism, Black feminism, whatever how you identify yourself, okay? So I want you guys to do, make it a little bit more enriched, if you will. Just because I'm looking at the backboard, if you have not turned in that self-perception test, you're a superhero, you need to get that done over the break, because that's your part of your final exams. If I got me on that? I changed the grading because some people did not turn it in, but those grades will be flipped if I actually make that part of your final. So if you have not done so, you need to do that, because that will be, remember, it's 2 parts of your final. That's the first part. That's in the assignments. You guys still can get that knocked out. I'm just looking at some in the back. So please make sure you guys get those done. We got about a minute left on this. So if you got something to say it now. Forever hold your peace and you don't get credit for it. And again, the book that I'm referencing is called Venus in the Dark. So it's for online people can see it again. Man, you guys see this is what I'm referencing. This whole lesson really came out of here, okay? Not really, it did come out of here. Because obviously as a male, I have biases, so I'm not gonna act like I came out this myself. However, having a daughter did change my life. Yeah, I'm married, but still, my daughter changed me. All right, let's keep moving on. Let's go and finish this up. We got more to do. All right, reflection, okay? And just so y'all can see, I'm kind of proud I found this one, thought this was a pretty good one. Because again, it's not just one person, right? And you guys know how I tried to also throw in COVID, right? So this is a good play. Gotta laugh sometimes. Sometimes gotta laugh. All right. What you guys are doing here? What are some of the things that make women go? Okay, I totally worded this, so let's skip it. I'm sorry. What are some of the things that women go through in our society that other people? Okay, that's good. What are some of the things that women go through in our society that other people don't go through? Go ahead and answer this. So what are things that women only deal with that others don't have to deal with? We talked about some of them earlier, right? Give me your opinion. What are some of the things that women go through that others don't have to worry about? You don't have to give me no long dissertation or essay. Just tell me your thoughts, so you guys can like other people's too. And I posted a link in the chat just in case people have issues with Nearpod. No excuses. So like other people. Got some good stuff going up here. I'm hiring your names because I want y'all to feel comfortable. And of course, my ladies, you know, you can just share what you guys go through and how you feel. Good responses, good responses. And like other people, you guys look at other stuff, people's stuff, and like if you agree with it. You can't see names, but just, you know, like others. A lot of people argue that sex trafficking is now the more modern day slavery. And typically a lot of the people that be in sex trafficking are unfortunately women. So a lot of your comments are kind of going to that. About a minute, we're gonna move on. Let me get back some thumbs up or some people tell me, you guys feeling okay so far? You okay? Virtual, y'all okay? Okay. Okay. All right, let's bounce. Thank you guys for your contributions. Okay. All right, so important Black feminists that we want to make sure we know about. You have a couple here, okay? You have Alice Walker. She's the one who wrote The Color Purple. You have Bell Hooks, Ain't I a Woman? Black Women and Feminism. Audre Lorde. She was a queer Black woman, mother, activist, and a poet. You got Race and Color. I'm sorry. Yeah, Race and Color was written by. This is a wrong bullet point. I'm sorry. Miss Murray. She wrote state laws on race and color, and she's an advocate for Black women in practice, as far as being on law. Okay, so some people to know about. The reason I say this, first off, because let me go back to this to help you guys out. Remember, by the 22nd, you got. So I help you guys out. By the 22nd, you guys are required to do the Black History Month vocabulary. Hopefully you recall that, right? And you have to do it on a Black person or event that has not been covered in vocabulary, right? I just gave you guys like a handful right here. Let me just say them again. You have to do some research, but you got Miss Murray, you got Andre Lord, you got Bell Hooks, you got Alice Walker. Those are some people you guys can do your raps on. That's not an optional assignment for you guys. You guys got to do it. Now, again, remember how that contest works is that if me and Ms. Edgerton, we like your rap, we'll talk to you guys about it, and then we can go ahead and submit yours up to get published by vocabulary. You might get paid some money, or at least you definitely get notoriety for them, okay? But again, it's a required assignment. You got to do your rap. It has to be at least, I think, 12 lines. That's in your vocabulary counts already. Okay. All right, so now you guys are dry on this. Let's go back and now let's talk about Wakanda, right? Let's tie it all back in together. Do a quick jot right here on the screen. What were some of the roles women in Wakanda had? Just quickly jot them down. We'll discuss them in a little bit, but just write down what were some of the roles that women had in Wakanda. And I gave you guys some examples here too. What were some of the roles that women had in Wakanda? What were some of the roles that women had in Wakanda? Ooh. I know I did. All right, let's see what y'all got. T'Challa's sister was a genius who created technology. That's right. To help and protect the king, someone was writing. Some were queens, others were warriors, and also security guards. They served as warriors, protectors, and defenders. They protected the king, created technology, queens, and spies, right? So just based on that, they were a lot of different things, right? Did they fulfill that stereotype that we just talked about, though? Or were they outside that stereotype? I'm asking you guys verbally. They were definitely outside the stereotype, okay? Now, keep that in mind, okay? Okay, let's go. We're going to skip that part. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this exit ticket. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close out Black Feminism with this exit ticket right here. What I want you guys to think about a tweet. How many characters is a tweet? Like 200 and what? Y'all don't know? Okay. Short. Like maybe a sentence or two. What lessons can we learn, if any, from the women of Wakanda and the ways that they were treated and their role in society? So what lessons can we learn from the women of Wakanda and how they were treated and their roles in society? What lessons can y'all learn? What lessons can you learn from the roles of women in Wakanda? I can say, hey, I can do the same thing for a lot of other movies. Again, what's the name of the movie you talked about on Tuesday? The Ten Rings, the next Marvel one. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. So I know one of y'all told me that. I'm doing the same kind of assignment with that whenever it comes out. I can never. She's something. Legend of the Ten Rings is another Marvel movie coming out. It'll be just like Black Panther, but with an all Asian cast. So diversity is working. It's become a lot more seen in film, which is crazy because we took us a long time to get to that point. You know what? I actually kind of liked Mulan. It was pretty good. Yeah, but I had no expectation for it. First off, I didn't pay for it. I waited till it started streaming on Disney Plus. But I had no expectation. It was cool for me. I got tired of live action after they tried to do that with Avatar. They messed that up. Avatar. I didn't watch that, so I didn't try. I didn't watch it. It didn't look like it was good. But no, I really actually like Mulan. Y'all didn't like it? Okay, I was looking at it from a different perspective. I was looking at it from like, I could show that movie to teach y'all like a lesson like I did like Black Panther. So I wasn't watching for entertainment. I think it sucked for entertainment purposes maybe. But I mean, it was. Did y'all ever watch the original, like the cartoon though? Oh yeah, it's on Netflix. I thought it was. I think it was that different. Yeah, that was okay. I didn't think it was horrible. I wouldn't have been mad if I wouldn't actually, okay, first off, if movie theaters are actually ever open again, I don't know. But if the movie theater was open, I wouldn't be mad I paid for it. I went to a movie and be like, really? I want my money back. I wouldn't have been that mad. More so, my kids loved it, so they watched it for the whole 2 hours. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're going to go ahead and end off with Black feminism. Did you guys learn something new?